Still on Bitcoin. People are buying homes using Bitcoin. Not very often. It's not happened that much, but it has happened. Samantha DeBianchi from the DeBianchi real estate operation is with us. Samantha, I don't understand how we can possibly price a home in Bitcoin when the price goes, the value of the Bitcoin goes up and down by $1,000 a day, if not an hour.
Right. So the price isn't based on Bitcoin, but people are obviously saying, hey, you can buy my property in Bitcoin. Now, does that actually happen? That comes into question. Obviously, there's a lot of volatility, but there has been someone who's made out. A guy in Texas actually bought a property in Bitcoin. It actually converted out to the seller in US dollars come closing, but because it went up so much, he bought the house for $4 million, but then came out making an extra $1.3 million, and he went and he bought a Lamborghini like any person would.
Well, yes,
but let's just say, look, I don't want my commission to be paid in Bitcoin. I like cold, hard cash, and I'm a true believer in that, because how do you put Bitcoin into escrow? Or what about when you're a buyer, all your contingencies are released, and then what? What if Bitcoin went from here to here and you're stuck? That's called a lawsuit. That's a big problem. And then the fact that this is all digital. You can't even identify who the buyer is. So we spend all this time and money trying to locate who the buyer is, whether it's legit, if it's fraud, and we don't know that. And lastly, if a seller does actually accept Bitcoin and not have it convert over, again, as you said before, how does it get taxed? Because the IRS looks at Bitcoin as property and not as currency. So it's a big, huge question mark, and I want nothing to do with it.
Okay, we hear you loud and clear. But I guess if I'm a Bitcoin owner and I want to buy a house, and I find somebody who's got a house for sale and they're Bitcoin people, I suppose we could do a direct Bitcoin exchange. I guess we could, couldn't we?
Of course you can. I mean, you could pay in anything. You could pay in Monopoly money if you want to, but you know, what is it really worth? Monopoly money could be worth more at some point.
Have you come across, seriously. I know you operate in Florida, I know you do, but have you come across this? Yes. Has anybody that you know of, even vaguely, actually bought or sold a house with Bitcoin?
Right now, there's property that is being advertised as accepting Bitcoin, but actually selling or buying it through Bitcoin, I have not heard of that in Florida. That's not to say it hasn't happened, but again, for the most part, it's only one party using it. So it's the buyer saying, I want to pay in Bitcoin, but come to closing, you're actually just converting it to US dollars to the seller. But again, that leaves a lot of question as to what it's going to be worth once you get to the closing table.
Samantha, I think you've done an excellent job in burying this whole idea. It's just not for you, and I can tell. Samantha DeBianchi, real estate person in Florida, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.